Consider it.
Subscribe for more shitty content.
And like the video so I get more views. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Esports Money, ZSM, Mac10, whatever you want to call me, and welcome to my guide to jungling Wraith King on the dire side in patch 7.06F. This is based on someone's request. I thought I might have already done one for this patch, but I didn't really check. I'm pretty sure I have done one for this patch, but on the Radiant side, we've been in this patch for so freaking long that I'm actually running out of heroes. I have done almost every single hero. I have done more, not almost every single hero, but I think I've done about 70 heroes since patch 7.06 came out. And if you can't tell in my voice, I'm a little bit, I'm tired of this. I'm a little bit frustrated with this. Give me that new life. Give me the player base, the viewer base back. Give me new content to make, all that stuff. Just waiting on you, Mr. Lizard. So anyway, down to the business. Wraith King is an extraordinarily easy hero to jungle, but on the Dire it's a little bit different because you don't really have those natural chokes, so you're going to be taking more damage. So I'm going to be rushing the Stout Shield as fast as possible, and yes, I did practice with this a little bit and figure out what works and what doesn't. This is the way that I prefer to play with him. So I'm going to get the Stout Shield, I'm going to get the point in my aura at level 1, and then I'm going to put 2 points in crit in the next 2 levels, because remember, crit does a shitload more damage against neutral creeps than it does against heroes. It's very, very good at speeding up your jungle, and your lifesteal only increases the amount that you lifesteal by 5% per level, and for the majority of the game, especially during the jungle, you're going to be getting that lifesteal health back from hitting creeps, not heroes. So you're actually getting more lifesteal by having more points into the crit early on. At level 4, I will put a second point into the lifesteal depending on how the game is going, or depending on how I feel about it. If I think I need to leave the jungle earlier, then I'll put a point into my Q. My ideal build by level 7 is to have 3 points in my crit, 2 points in my W, my lifesteal aura, 1 point in my ult, and 1 point into my stun. Now you're probably looking at me like, this is a mad lad. He doesn't have any points in his stun whatsoever for several levels. Why doesn't he do that? Okay, well, the thing is, it's kind of like the way Sven's stun used to be. Your stun duration and your slow and movement speed slow is the same, and the duration of the stun, the duration of the slow, and the movement speed slow percentage are the same at all levels. The only thing you're getting more is more damage to the nuke and more damage over time. So if you're jungling, it doesn't really make that big of a difference, because you're probably going to be trying to do more damage with your right clicks, and notice we have 3 points in crit, so we have decent right click damage. So we're going to be going for that point in your Q. Later on, right before we leave the jungle, we want to have a point in it, and then we're going to max it immediately upon leaving the jungle. If you have it maxed by level 15, then getting the Wraith Fire Blast DPS talent is a great talent, because it does 2 seconds of damage over time, and it will boost it from 65 times 2 to 115 times 2. So it's essentially doubling the damage over time. It's very, very good, and I do like to get that talent. Unless you really think the game is going to go for hours and hours and hours, or just a really, really long game, then go with the movement speed, because the movement speed will outweigh your DPS. So now that we've talked a little about talents, let's get into the meat of the talents. So with this hero, at level 10, you have a choice between plus 10 int and plus 15 damage. Largely up to you. It kind of depends on the flow of the game. I might go for plus int in some situations. If I think I'm going to be against heroes that will be trying to burn my mana, then I'm just going to go for the damage and say screw it and get a soul ring. If it's up to me to manage my mana correctly, and no one's going to be draining my mana like Lion, and no one's going to be burning my mana like Anti-Mage or someone that naturally buys Diffusal Blade, then I'll just go for the intelligence. So pretty standard there. Level 15 is Wraith Fire Blast DPS versus plus 30 movement speed. Again, largely up to you. If you think the game's going to go long, go with the movement speed. If you don't think the game's going to go long, then go DPS, because the DPS will help you now, but that doesn't scale. Movement speed scales because the damage you do when you right-click scales, and this allows you to connect more right-clicks. Also lets you escape more. At level 20, you have a choice between plus 40 attack speed and plus 10% vampiric aura lifesteal. This is very much going along the vein of what I just talked about in terms of how long do you think the game will go. If you think that the game will go on for a very, very long time, then the lifesteal is better because that percentage will scale better. If you don't think the game's going to go on for that long, or if you think that the game will go on for a medium amount of time, then go with the plus 40 attack speed. It also depends on your item build. If you've already built an AC, or you have a Moon Shard, that 40 attack speed is going to start giving you diminishing returns compared to the lifesteal. But that being said, attack speed is usually better than lifesteal because you already have a lot of lifesteal, but again, largely it's up to you and it's up to the situation. I would say the attack speed is better than the lifesteal at face value, but you're probably going to be building items that give attack speed, and you're going to get diminishing returns from it. Level 25. Reincarnation cast Wraith Fire Blast and no Reincarnation mana cost are your two choices there. Now, this is, unfortunately, once again, it's not that simple. It's going to be situational. You need to choose between these two talents based on what you're up against. If you're up against a hero that does a lot of magic or mana burn, you're against anti-mage, anyone that builds a diffusal blade, or someone that's going to be able to keep your mana low, then go with the no reincarnation mana cost. The no reincarnation mana cost is the easy mode way of playing it, because there's no way that your ultimate can be stopped by the enemy team. If you don't have to deal with that concern, and you don't think that the enemy is really itemizing against you, for instance, if you're playing the hero as like a position 2 or a 3 instead of a 1, then go for the Reincarnation cast Wraithfire Blast. Especially if you combine that with Ags, then you suddenly have this big AoE damage stun to everyone around you. It's a very, very, very good talent, and I think it's the better talent of the two of them, but there are situations in the game where you will need to pick the no mana cost talent because of the way that people are building or picking against you. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this guide, and I will see you guys next time, hopefully with a new patch.